Order for Ablekuma not aye butu see a mena okasa order for Electoral Commission the just information kese pa de abe to dwa ama Ghana fo nyina concerning Ablekuma not parliamentary elections order for woman call na yanko disansem we nyina enchiremu Ablekuma not number this year.
Big news from the quarters of the Electoral Commission, who've just agreed with both the NPP and the NDC, or all parties in the Ablekuma North constituency. Remember, that constituency still doesn't have a member of parliament. The Electoral Commission has agreed with the parties for a rerun in 19 out of the 37 polling stations in Ablekuma North. Let's get straight into that statement that's come from the Electoral Commission, and I want to bring that to you right now as we go onto the screens. Right, and so you're seeing that on your screens right now, and it reads verbatim: as part of its commitment to resolve the impasse regarding the Ablekuma North constituency parliamentary elections, the Electoral Commission yesterday, the 1st of July, met with representatives of the National Democratic Congress and the New Patriotic Party. The meeting, which was a follow-up to an earlier meeting held on Thursday, the 12th of June 2025, provided both parties the opportunity to brief the Commission on any new development regarding the said constituency. The parties informed the Commission that the positions put forward at the last meeting remain unchanged. The NDC held the view that elections should be rerun in the 37 polling stations because scanned pink sheet from 37 polling stations which were used to collate the results were provided by the NPP. The NPP also was of the view that the results from 3 outstanding polling stations be collated and a winner declared, since the NDC agents had verified and confirmed the scanned polling station results they presented. They go on to say that it is important for the public to understand that the issue in contention has to do with the fact that 37 pink sheets provided by the NPP and used to collate the results were scanned copies. The public may recall that political party supporters besieged our collation center and destroyed a number of the pink sheets for the Ablekuma North parliamentary election during the collation following the December 7 general election. And we'll bring you the full details of that statement, but that's what you're seeing on your screens, which were the result of all of the happenings in the aftermath of the December 7th, 2024 general elections. We know that Ablekuma North still doesn't have a member of parliament, but let's connect with Musa Dankwa. He's a pollster. He doesn't like to be called that pretty much, but he's the executive director of Global Info Analytics. He's joining us just by way of gauging what the dynamics possibly could be. Mr. Dankwa, I appreciate you speaking to us. You've been looking at the constituencies, and I know in subsequent pollings after the elections in December, you've put Ablekuma North in focus. Now we're understanding 19 out of the 37 outstanding polling stations are expected to see a rerun. What are the dynamics based on what you've seen in the past, and what projections can we be making into that possible rerun?
Ablekuma North on our radar for some time. We followed that several times, and indeed we put the constituency on the radar of too close to call at the time, but with the advantage to NDC. But there was dispute and they couldn't win it. Now that they're going to be run in 17 of those electoral areas, or what we call the polling stations. Look, it's going to be about motivation. Who is more galvanized to show up to vote, and indeed, who does the environment and the women favor? And if you put those two together, you see more galvanized to go out and vote. It will be difficult to get MPP people out there to go and vote, knowing that that number will not make any difference to their parliamentary numbers.
MPP persons to go out and vote. Couldn't this be a good enough opportunity for the party? This is just because you mentioned the difficulty in motivating their supporters to go out and vote. Wouldn't this be a good enough opportunity for the party to begin what possibly could be a resurgence of some sort, going down there, campaigning aggressively, and to begin what possibly could be a rebuild for the party?
I think it will be a good opportunity if that can be done. If they can mobilize and go there and see how the people respond. Not necessarily bringing staff from outside, but to check naturally whether the people in there will be galvanized to come up on their own to support them to win the seat. If they can do that, that would be a very good plan.
I'll stay with the NPP just a bit longer because they believe they've won this election. In fact, in all of their commentaries and the lies, they continue to make the argument strongly that they've won the elections. Even if the outstanding 3 were to be added to the NDC, it will not make much of a difference. Shouldn't they rather be the happier of the 2 parties, considering they have been of the opinion that they've won this election and the NDC has been insisting on a rerun?
I think it is NPP has to win more seats, has to be relevant. And for that matter, I've seen what has happened in the parliament. They've raised that issue in parliament several times of Ablekuma, and that needs to be resolved. If they can win it, that would be a very good for them because it would mean that they can begin to motivate their people and galvanize them. But if they fail to, it will probably signal what is currently being shown in the polling numbers. Their level of participation is down. And the situation economically across the country may not adhere to their benefit in terms of what the campaign has picked up.
The elections is expected on July 11. That's what, 9 days away, roughly a week plus 2 days. Really, for both parties, what work can be done between now and then to ensure that you sway voters into your fold?
I mean, for the NDC, they have to use their current record to campaign with. We have done this, we have done that, we have done that. MPP can also use with what they could think could be lack of performance in the government. Say, look, they have failed here, they have failed there, so let's give us the number so we can keep them on check. I think MPP has the hardest message than the NDC with regards to Ablekuma elections.
Mr. Dankwa, thank you very much. Short notice, but you've joined us. I appreciate you as always. Musa Dankwa is the Executive Director of Global Info Analytics, and most definitely we'll be getting the reactions as well of the 2 political parties. The NDC, who have always demanded that this happen, they in fact were demanding all 37 be rerun, but the Electoral Commission has opted for 19 out of that number. What do they make of it? What as well will the NPP be making of it as well? They were of the view that let's proceed and just get a declaration, because the Electoral Commission from time immemorial said they just wanted police protection. And so it's even in terms of the conversations, will be interesting to understand what has shifted all of the dynamics to now the EC agreeing to conduct a rerun for this particular constituency. But let's move away from that to something which will be of interest to all of us as Ghanaians, because the Ghana Revenue Authority has...
For when a breaking news gets here, a course our Ablekuma not concerning or rerun election, no, just say, Ocean and Emancy corner, it will be in favor of NDC or for Anna say in favor of NDP, because send an Emancy corner say, yeah, dear NDP funded Pia Bonti about to abandon breed. Because Omunim say, so what to abandon crying, it will not even make any difference in John Dramani Mahama Namimu. What you see, because you see, a majority for no NDC for our parliament. Omikita over 100 and something NPP, Omikita over 100 and something seats our parliament. Into no NPP for Ekita less than 100. Into no Wamusha, Empa difference be a Mantanya, the NPP for the P abonting their numbers to vote. Or for it means Ablekuma not seat no Eba be NDC for the another for where some sebe. Or for so when you have comments in your comment section, I'm making Kanina, or for aha, Ghanatube, Macam in the